Hi, I'm Alia. Today, let's quickly understand the difference between traditional programming and prompt-based AI. In traditional programming, we write exact step-by-step code to tell the computer what to do.
With prompt-based AI, you simply ask in natural language for him, like talking to a smart assistant.
Traditional programming needs technical coding skills. Prompt-based AI works with simple human language. Both are powerful, Zavin, but prompt-based AI makes technology easier for everyone. Let's learn how to use it smartly.
Let's talk about traditional programming. In simple words, traditional programming means telling the computer exactly what to do, step by step. You write clear instructions using programming languages like C, Python, or Java, and the computer follows those instructions strictly. Think of the computer like a very obedient student. It doesn't think on its own. It doesn't guess. It doesn't assume anything. For example, imagine you want the computer to add two numbers. You can't just say, hey, computer, add these numbers. You must write proper code that explains how to take the numbers, how to add them, and how to show the result. Only then will the computer give you the answer. If your instructions are correct, the program works perfectly. But if there is even a small mistake, maybe a missing symbol, a wrong word, or incorrect logic, the program may stop working or give wrong results. Traditional programming is about clear rules, exact steps, and full control by the programmer. The intelligence comes from you, not the computer. Once you understand this concept, learning programming becomes much easier. Now let's understand this with a very simple and practical example. This will make traditional programming crystal clear. Let me show you a simple example of traditional programming using Python. Please watch the screen carefully. First, I'm going to type A equals 5. Here, I'm telling the computer to store the value 5 in a variable called A. The computer does not ask questions. It simply follows this instruction. Next, I type B equals 3. Now I am storing the value 3 in another variable called B. At this point, the computer is not doing any calculation. It is only remembering the values I gave. Now comes the main instruction. I type print A plus B. This line clearly tells the computer what to do. Takes the value in A, takes the value in B, add them together, and display the result on the screen. When I run the program, the computer shows the output as 8. Now notice something important. The computer did not understand mathematics. It did not think on its own. It did not guess the answer. It simply followed the exact instructions written in the code. This is a perfect example of traditional programming. Now, let's talk about something very interesting, that is prompt-based AI. It works differently from traditional programming. Here, you don't need to write code. You don't have to define variables or write step-by-step instructions. Instead, you simply ask the AI in normal language, just like you talk to a human. For example, you can say add 5 and 3. That's it. The AI understands what you mean and gives you the answer directly. So what is happening here? The instruction you give, whether it is a question, a command, or a request, is called a prompt. In prompt-based AI, your words become the instructions. The better and clearer your prompt is, the better the response you get. So remember, in traditional programming, we write code, but in prompt-based AI, we communicate using language. That is the power of prompt-based AI. Here, you don't code the solution, you ask for it. Less code, more clarity. That's prompt-based AI. Let's look at a simple example of prompting. One of the biggest advantages of prompt-based AI is that you can ask it many different types of questions in natural language. For example, you can say, explain photosynthesis simply. Here, you are not giving commands or writing code. You are just asking the AI to explain a concept in an easy way. You can also ask, write a resume for me. In this case, the AI understands that you want a professional document with proper format, skills, and content. You can even say, create a timetable for study. The AI understands your intention and gives you a structured plan based on your request. Now, notice something important here. The AI is not just responding to fixed commands. It is understanding the meaning behind your words. This is what makes prompting so powerful. You don't need technical knowledge. You don't need programming skills. If you can explain what you want in simple language, the AI can help you. That is why prompting is easy to use, powerful in results, and useful for everyone. Now let's clearly compare traditional programming and prompting with AI. First, let's talk about traditional programming. In traditional programming, you need coding knowledge. You must know programming languages like C, Python, or Java. The rules are very strict. Every instruction must be written correctly. Even a small mistake can cause errors. The computer works only as written. It does not understand meaning. It does not think or adjust. You tell the computer exactly what to do, step by step, line by line, and it follows those instructions like a robot. Now let's look at prompting with AI. Here, you don't need coding knowledge. You can use simple English. Prompting is flexible and smart. You don't need to explain every step. The AI can understand context and intention. It understands what you mean, not just what you type. For example, instead of writing code, you can simply ask, create a timetable for study, or explain a topic simply. Now think of it this way. Traditional programming is like giving instructions to a robot. You must be very precise, very exact, and very careful. But prompting is like talking to a smart assistant. You explain what you want, and it helps you. That is the main difference. Traditional programming depends on code. Prompting depends on communication. And that is why prompting with AI is powerful, easy to use, and useful for everyone. Before we wrap up, let's step back and see the overall idea. Think of traditional programming as the engine behind technology. It powers apps, websites, games, and systems we use every day. When you need accuracy, structure, and long-term solutions, programming is the right tool. Now think about prompting as a conversation with technology. Instead of writing detailed instructions line by line, you tell the AI what you want, and it helps you get there faster. This makes AI tools easy to use, even for beginners. Programming builds the foundation. Prompting adds speed and flexibility on top of it. In the future, people won't choose between programming or prompting. They'll use both together. Developers will use AI to assist their coding. Students, teachers, and professionals will use prompts to learn, plan, and create more efficiently. That's why learning to write good prompts is becoming a must-have skill.